Bailey told me that I was going to have to say a few words at tonight's reception. I said, Bailey, you better make sure everybody's glass is full because I got a lot to say. First of all, let me talk about the people here. I mean, there's got to be more than 100 people that have all come down here at great expense. That speaks loudly, I have to tell you. It speaks about how highly everybody here regards Florida weather. No, but, you know, when a father marries off a daughter, I'm guessing it's every parent, you almost have to reflect. And that's bad for you, because I get to reflect vocally while you get to sit and listen. But seriously, how many people are here? Do we have a count? 130 people. I'll bet you 50 of them are still here when I'm done talking. David says how much? When I reflect on the time I spent with Bailey and David, I have to go right back to the day that I met Bailey, January 8th, 1992. And in fact, I was just telling somebody the other night, she shares a birth date with Elvis Presley. Does everybody know that? Elvis Presley. So yeah. So if you ever forget Bailey's birthday, just remember Elvis, and you will always remember Bailey's birthday. Anyway, that's how I do it. Okay, January 8th, 1992. My wife goes into the hospital fully expecting to give birth, which she did. And my brother-in-law, who's a lot older than I am and a lot wiser, said, call me as soon as you can with any information, and I'll disseminate it to the rest of the family. So that afternoon I called and said, Russ, Angela just gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Then I said, Russ, I got no clue what to do with a girl. I mean, I knew this was a possibility. I thought it was remote. I didn't bargain for it. He said, Jay, you just love them. You love them and everything will take care of itself. So, well, lucky for me, seriously, my wife knows everything there is to know about girls. No, she does. So she took the reins, and I loped along behind, just loving Bailey. I loved her when she was an infant, and I loved her when she was in kindergarten, and grade school, and middle school, and most of high school. And when she was a little kid, she wanted to. She took an interest in singing and dancing, and she wanted to make Royal Airs, which is a Zionsville co-ed show choir. And when she found out she made Royal Airs, she called me. I was in the parking lot waiting to pick up our son. She was sick that day. And she said, Dad, all my friends are texting me saying I made Royal Airs. And I sat in that parking lot honking my horn like I just won the lottery. Damon got in the car and said, what are you doing? Everybody's looking at us. I said, Bailey just made Royal Airs. You were the only sophomore girl in that squad. And Damon said, I thought she was going to. So, the older brother had pretty good confidence in his little sister. But, what this shows everybody, at least me, is that as parents we have to keep our guards up because pride is a deadly sin. And sometimes something as simple as making a choir can make us proud. And by the way, I'm off now, I'm off my script. Somebody said she was a good kid growing up. Is there anybody here whose door I knocked on at 3 o'clock in the morning? Driving around the neighborhood of Zionsville, going up on a house that's dark, right? Not caring who answered, pounding on the door. Hi, I'm Jay, Bailey's dad. Anyway, she had a good high school career. And after flirting with a couple of out-of-state colleges, thankfully she decided to stay in state and go to IU. Indiana University of Bloomington, Indiana. we go. And we got her enrolled in the business school. We sent her down there, and she was off and running like a good college kid. And she decided to, I don't know, do you join a sorority? Pledge a sorority? Whatever. She became an Alpha Chi Omega. And I don't know from Greek anything, but I do know any club that makes you get good grades to stay a member, I'm okay with it. So I was on board. And so she's off and running as an Alpha Chi. Then you contracted MRSA. 3 doctors we went to. First 2 said, oh, just put a hot compress on it, it'll be fine. The third one said, young lady, you got to go to the emergency room right now. And we took her to the emergency room. And they admitted her. And we were scared. And they took her upstairs, put a PICC line in her, filled her full of high-octane antibiotics, and they said, you're not out of the woods yet. You got to come back for 6 weeks before you're out of the woods. And so I went down to Bloomington every day, 60 miles one way, for 6 weeks. Picked her up, brought her back to Indianapolis, took her back to Bloomington, came back. For 6 weeks. And she ended up like nothing ever happened. She's flying along, but I knew that I would never, ever have that opportunity to spend that kind of time with my little girl again for that protracted a basis. And I'm embarrassed to tell you that even though as a father I was gleeful that she was healthy, there was a tinge of selfish sadness that came over me. And it has never fully gone away. But that didn't matter to Bailey. She graduated. She did good. Now, every now and then, those of you who know Bailey know she gets an idea in her head. And you can't get that idea out of her head. It doesn't matter. But normally, she lands on her feet if you just let it play out. So we went down for graduation weekend. We knew she wanted to go to law school. And she says, go to Loyola Chicago Law School. Yeah. Anyway, we had to let it play out. So Bailey and I got in the car, and we went up to Chicago. Now, Loyola Law School is situated in a high-rise office in downtown Chicago, and the facilities are really unremarkable. Yeah, they're nice. There's nothing to write home about. And it was early May. The weather was horrible. It was windy, cold, and it snowed. Bailey doesn't like cold weather. So, as miserable as I was happy. Because I knew this wasn't sitting well with Bailey. Now, in the interim, in the meantime, her mother said, look, as a Mother's Day present, I want you to go visit Regent Law School. You don't have to go, just go visit. And she said, okay. So Bailey and I got in the car, and we drove out to visit Regent Law School in Virginia Beach, where it's warm. And unlike Loyola, I think Regent is very remarkable. It's immaculate. It's colonial. The facilities are spectacular. And they rolled out the red carpet for Bailey. They put her up. They had a day and a half packed full of activities for you, and they gave her a guide to show her around the campus. And when she got in the car to come back, I knew she had a good visit. And on the way home, she turns to me and says, Dad, the most amazing thing happened. The girl that showed me around was an Alpha Chi Omega. Now, she just spent 4 years learning marketing at IU. So I'm thinking, okay, this is a school that knows all about you from your application. They put you up, rolled out the red carpet, offered you a scholarship. They dearly want you to go there, and you think it's an accident that this person was a sorority sister. Now that's what I said. That's what I thought. What I said was, oh my God, that's an amazing coincidence. Oh no. Then I added. I think it might be a God thing. No offense. Anyway, on Father's Day, she storms into my room in the morning and says, Dad, I'm going to Region. I got the apartment, I got the scholarship, everything's taken care of, I'm going. And if that wasn't the best Father's Day gift she ever gave me, it was the best one she could have given me that year. And even though we knew we were going to see our little girl for about 3 years, we thought she was in the best place. And I think you were, don't you? Anyway, that 3 years went by. She studied real hard, and we got in the car to go see our little girl graduate from law school. So now we're on the road to Virginia Beach. My wife looks at me and goes, hey, you know, we're not just going to watch her graduate. Oh, no? Oh, we're going to meet the boyfriend. What father doesn't love to hear that? Okay. Can you tell me anything about it? He said, come here. I said, just tell me he didn't go to Purdue. She said, no, he went to the University of Virginia. I went, oh, okay, I can do this. So we watched our little girl graduate. We met David, and it turns out that UVA turns out not only good engineers, pretty good guys. We found David to be level-headed, smart, and in spite of your perfect SAT score, you're a pretty down-to-earth guy. Anyway, we liked him. We got in the car. We said, we like David, but your relationship's young, so let's just wait. Then comes time for David to come to Indy. David's more than welcome. Come on. So they get in the car and they come back to Indianapolis. Now we get a call. Hey, we're on the interstate. Let's meet. We want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings because David wants to watch UVA play University of Maryland, Baltimore County. He's got great hopes for his Cavaliers. I thought, well, this is going to be a boring evening. Virginia's a 1 seed, Baltimore County's a 16, and the 16's never beaten a 1. Well, until that night. So we think we're going to watch a boring game and go home. We get in there. The game comes on, Virginia comes out flat. And it wasn't going to get much better. Now my son, who is not a great sports fan, but he can hold his own. But he's a stat freak. So he logs on to 538. Does everybody know what 538 is? For those of you that don't tell you, it's a website, it's data-driven, and they give you odds on elections and sporting events, and they also give you in-game odds. So we're finding out what the odds of Virginia winning are at all points during the game. First of all, it started out pretty innocuous. Oh, Virginia's down 6, but there's still a 77% chance to win. Damon's making pronouncements throughout the game. Oh, Virginia's down 9, but there's a 62% chance to win. Virginia's down 14. You can see where this is going. So anyway, the game's going on. It's boring as heck. I'm really not watching it. I'm listening to Damon, but I'm watching David. I gotta tell you, he's a better man than I would have thrown down car fares and said, Bailey, I'll see you in Virginia Beach. Your family's crazy. I'm out of here. But he didn't. He didn't flinch. He didn't mope. He didn't move. He didn't do anything. He just sat there and took it. And I thought, you know, any guy that can put up with that, 50-50 can put up with Bailey. So, when it came time for David to ask for a hand, it was foregone conclusion. Yeah, go. Absolutely. And he did ask, and I did say, what are you going to do if I say no? He goes, I'm going to marry her anyway. So, well, that's the right answer. That's the right answer. So, we got him engaged. Then was the shower. We got to meet David's family, Bethany and Pam, wonderful people. They came for the shower. They came to our house for pizza and wine. I don't know if you had wine, but I know Bailey was there, so wine was there. And I started out with my brother-in-law talking about my brother, who's also a lot older than me, not a lot wiser. He follows Bailey on social media. And so he called and said, so Bailey's engaged. I said, yeah. What's he like? I said, he's smart. He's nice. And I said, you know, he's really the kind of guy you would expect Bailey to be with. And he said, good. So nothing like you. I said, no, nothing like you. So, they're married and there's nothing anybody can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. No, okay, no, nothing anybody can do about it. So, what kind of advice can a father give to a couple that I think is pretty well squared away? I mean, I think if you look at this couple, they're pretty well squared away. Financially, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah, definitely spiritually. But I have to give you some advice. And Bailey always tells me that stereotypes and cliches are what they are because there's a vein of truth that runs through them. And the cliche that comes to mind is something, I'm paraphrasing, something about it's not the destination, it's the journey. And that's a cliche, but it's true. You guys have all kinds of plans. You have the skill, you've got the talent, you'll have the resources to see it through. Don't concentrate so much on the goal that you don't have time to enjoy the see it through part. You've heard me say, savor the moment. Don't be one of those people that wants to have done something. There's millions of us, and I'm one. I'm at the Statue of Liberty, I'm looking at my watch like I got someplace to go. I don't. We just want to have done something. Don't be one of those guys. And I have another piece of advice, and I thought all day about this, and I almost took it out, but I'm not going to take it out. I wouldn't give a hoot in hell for those people that want to make memories. Because if you're healthy of mind, you're going to have memories, and most of them will be good. Somebody told me a long time ago, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. You know, I have a friend that rented a third-row hotel room, Central Park South, on Thanksgiving Day, so his two kids, you know this story, could watch the Thanksgiving Day parade. Well, he and his wife watched the parade go by, and his kids jumped up and down on the bed, like totally oblivious to the parade. And they spent an exorbitant amount of money to make that memory. And it's cute, but they wouldn't do it again. I would say, savor the moment. Don't be one of those people. I don't know if this visual will ring true with anybody. Clark Griswold at the Grand Canyon. Don't be that. Do some of you guys know that? Don't be one of those people that wants to have done something. There's one exception to that. All these people want to have heard the end of my speech. And now they have. Okay, let's raise our glass. And I want to wish this couple all of God's blessings, all the fun, happiness, and joy, especially joy, that you can cram into one lifetime. Cheers.
Let's give one big round of applause to all the speakers, please.